Yo, mumsy. Yeah, you don't know this one's for you, like. Kept on causing trouble for like years on end. And I kept on saying sorry. It's time to say thank you, now my life's sorted. Get me? Listen. Yo. Alright, mum, I wanna say thank you for the times you pull me through and I don't have to, but it feels like I have to, cause you're the one that's shown me the path to success, put me in the right shoes. And every time I used to go out, she was like, Matthew, can you please be careful? I was like, yeah mum, I'll be careful, I'm just going out and about with my troops. And she was like, okay, no need to be rude, but please don't go out to try and be like one of those dudes who I come home to, flick on the TV and see on the news, getting arrested for any sort of abuse, or even worse, getting done for drugs use. And I'm like, mum, I may be paying, but I'm just roll like bait like Zooks. And I'm definitely not going out to try and cause trouble and give everyone beats like flukes. I'm 19 now, I'm not one of those youths, but remember when I was just one of those youths, thinking I was way too cool for school, getting brought in by the blues and twos, then knock on my door like it's Miss Gregory, it's just your son. And you'll be like, fuck's sake Matthew, what have you done? And I'd be like, mum, I got caught shoplifting and Woolworths, but it wasn't worth the wool. And she was like, what, do you think you're funny now, do you? And I was like, no mum, I'm sorry. And she was like, if you were sorry, you'd done it in the first place, would you? And I was like, no. And she was like, well, get the fuck to the room and I don't want to speak to you, I don't even want to see you. So I shut my mouth and sat there for about a week or two. It might have even been a month or two, it depended what I had to return bail to. And then I just shut my mouth and played the PS2. And then when I went out, she was like, don't make my screw loose. And I was like, mum, I won't make you screw loose. She must have believed me for about a month or two before she looked out the window and realised she had deja vu. Said a what, pull up, white, yellow and blue. Reflectors light was on and out stepped Matthew. Stood there with two white dudes in the black suits. My heart was pumping, her heart must have got colder, cause she flung open the door, said, Matthew, what the fuck have I told ya? Then she looked at the officer and looked on his shoulder, read 5812, realised the same dudes that arrested me last time. And then they was like, Miss Gregory, leave it to you. So I walked in and I thought I was gonna get pounded, but nah, she said that I'm grounded and then gave me a good talking to. So I sat in the living room and listened to her. And she was like, look, do you think you're cool getting arrested by these blues and twos? And I was like, no. And she was like, do you want to be one of those dudes that sat behind bars in the yellow suits? And I was like, no. And she was like, well, if you do, you're gonna be in there for shoplifting and that's a silly thing. And she was like, don't send me a video. And I was like, why? And she was like, don't try and make me questions, cause I'm the one that's giving you questions, trying to sort your life out. And I was like, okay, no need to shout. But then again, I'm the one that's gonna be out and about, and she must have believed me for about a year or two that I sorted my life out before she sat in the front room and then looked out, saw a chopper above the nature, and then she rang me and said, where the fuck are you? And I goes, mum, I'll give you a clue. I'm running through the nature, getting watched by the chopper from bird's eye view. And she was like, what do you do? I goes, burglary at Thames U. And she was like, you're going to prison. And I was like, if I do, then mum, I'm gonna miss you, and tell the family I miss them too. And I'm out, and I'm just trying to tell you that I love you, and there's no need for this. I've sorted, so don't try and worry about a thing, and don't worry about my phone when the crime starts.